This is the fourth video in a series I have created for clients specifically outlining the mortgage qualification process, answering your questions, explaining some of the more involved terms and concepts in mortgages. If you got here without me sending you an email or a text, welcome. My name is Joel Arndt. I am a mortgage agent with Sherwood Mortgage Group. This video is specifically about the overall real estate purchase process. What's that actual transaction timeline look like? First is pre-approval. I'm going to leave that for another video. That's got its own timeline. Once I've given you your budget, your buying power essentially, you can go shopping. Whoever your realtor is, if you don't have a realtor already, I can refer someone to you that I work with all the time. And when you find a home, then you're going to make an offer. That first offer, especially in a competitive market, probably isn't going to go through. That's usually how it goes. If you're lucky, you'll get the first one, but not a lot of people do. Expect a few rejections before you actually get an accepted offer. In any offer you make sure there are conditions included. Definitely a financing condition, and I'll go over more about why there should be a financing condition in a future video. Maybe even an inspection condition depending on the house. If it's pre-inspected, that's good. It could also be advisable to get your own inspection done. That is completely up to you. Once your offer is accepted, then you have, and ideally you have conditions in there, you have the conditional period. So we now have time to submit your mortgage application to the lender with the accepted offer, which is the important part, and it gives them time to respond. They are not reviewing documents until they have an accepted offer along with your application. So all the documents that we got in the pre-approval process are being submitted. The purchase agreement is being submitted. They are reviewing those. And in the time that it takes for them to review, you're probably going to do your inspection. You're probably going to go visit the property at least once more. Once the lender has reviewed the documents and the agreement of purchase and sale, they send a conditional commitment letter. Now, this commitment letter doesn't bind you to anything, but it does outline the terms that you will be bound to once you sign the actual mortgage documents with the lender closing. You get the commitment letter, we go through it together. We hop on a call and I explain everything that's going on in this letter, everything that is relevant to you. And if we're comfortable with everything, you waive the financing condition. You tell your realtor that you can waive the financing condition. They will give you a form to sign called a notice of fulfillment. And once that's signed by both parties, you send that to me, I send that back to the lender. You now have a firm transaction. You now have a firm offer. You are legally bound to that commitment, to that agreement of purchase and sale. And that's why it's important to put that condition in there, because you want to know that the lender is on board before you bind yourself legally to this transaction. After that, things can stretch out depending on the length of time until your closing date. We've got the lender commitment letter already sent back. Now we want to satisfy all the conditions. We've probably satisfied most of them already in that conditional period. The idea is to get the income satisfied for sure, appraisal as well if they ask for one. They don't always though, but there might be some down payment conditions to satisfy and a few other things. There will be some additional documentation to submit. Once that's all taken care of, and as we get closer to closing, you'll have to secure home insurance, also known as fire insurance. Most commitments refer to it as fire insurance. Get that squared away. Let the insurance company know who your mortgage company is. At least 15 business days, so 3 weeks before closing, make sure all of the funds for down payment and your closing costs are in one account, or they can be in multiple accounts, but make sure that wherever the funds need to be so that the lawyer can take everything out and disperse it properly, make sure the funds are there 15 days before closing, 15 business days before closing. Then you'll have your lawyer meeting. That usually happens anywhere from maybe 2 weeks or even 1 week before closing. It doesn't happen too far in advance. The lawyers will wait till they get closer. With them, you will sign more documentation for both the mortgage, and sometimes there are certain declarations that the lender requires. There's ID verification that you'll also have to sign with the lawyer, and whatever else that is necessary. That happens, a week or a few days before closing. Then there's closing day. And ideally on closing day, you get the keys and you have the house. The house is yours. At that point, there is a little bit that I stay on board for afterwards. We don't get to talk as much once you've closed. There's no real reason to, but I like to check in to make sure that everything went okay. First of all, was moving smooth? Do you guys need any help? Maybe some of my connections can help you out. Did the first mortgage payment come out smoothly? Did that all work well? Usually it does. Every now and then there's a little system or technical glitch. I can help you get that sorted out. The first tax installment, depending on when you buy, if it's near like February, March, or June, July, that's when tax installments come out. I'm going to check in around those times and make sure that that went okay. Now, if the lender is paying the taxes, that's not an issue for you. And after that, I will send you an email, usually in the January after you purchased, if you were a first-time home buyer, and to remind you of the first-time home buyer income tax rebate. Make sure that your accountant is aware of it so that you can get some money back come tax time. That's a high-level view. I skimmed through that, but that's what you can expect in terms of a timeline when you are buying a house.